All right, we are back. Positivity Push. We had some technical difficulties, so y'all go ahead and share. Come on in. I've got an incredible guest, LaKia. Share this broadcast now, and I promise you we're going to make sure that we get this on and popping. So forgive the technical difficulties. Part 2.
Are you sharing it now?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to go back out.
Okay. So good morning. Yeah, there we go. All right, I see some people coming in.
Okay.
Good morning, Casey. Thanks for joining us. Share this broadcast. This is going to be great. We're talking about being pushed into our positive life, and it's going to be a good show. So thank you guys for joining us this morning. Thank you for joining us. Good morning, Winston. Good morning, Casey. All righty. Good morning. There we go. All right, here we go. Share this broadcast. Good morning, sir. And that was People Like Us by Kelly Clarkson. It's a great way to wake up this morning, and your Wake Up and Win anthem. You're listening to the Positivity Push on 103.5 FM WCOM live here in Chapel Hill, Carborough Community Radio. And this is your Feel Good Fix. It's time to push into your positive life. I've got an incredible guest this morning, LaKia Washington. LaKia, thanks for joining us this morning.
I'm excited to be here.
I'm so excited. Yes, I'm excited that you're here. This is, again, a powerhouse. She's so accomplished in her own right, and we're going to talk a little bit about that. But I just recently connected with LaKia. As I mentioned a little bit earlier, I recently connected with LaKia as she's shown a great interest in the Positivity Push and being a guest on the show. And her story is compelling, and you are in for a treat. This is going to be a great show this morning as we give you strategies on how to push into that positive life. You know, oftentimes I have guests on and they talk about different things like confidence or self-image or how to brand yourself and show up and show out. But really, we're getting back to the basics with this one. How are we going to live a positive life? What are we going to do to make sure that we're living the positive life? So we've got an incredible guest again, LaKia. She's educated, she's intelligent, she's powerful, and she's an author. So we're going to talk more about that in a second, but let me formally introduce her with her bio. LaKia Washington is a certified personal development coach. In addition to being a personal development coach, she's a motivational speaker, an author, and a licensed professional counselor. Having completed her master's degree in professional counseling at Liberty University. LaKia is the CEO of LW Therapeutics and Consulting in Clayton, North Carolina, where their mission is empowering individuals through education and therapeutic interventions. As personal development coach and a licensed professional counselor, she provides practical strategies for those who desire to reach their full potential. And she empowers individuals to move past what has them stuck to elevate them to their level of overcoming fears, thus motivating them to their greater abundance. I love that. Mm-hmm. LaKia looks forward to supporting you and allowing a new vision to emerge from the deepest place in your heart. Thank you in advance for allowing her the privilege to take this journey with you. So if you guys want, I'm going to put all of her information up at the end of the show on social media. Feel free to reach out to her. And we're also going to be talking about her book here shortly. So, LaKia, again, we're talking about being pushed into positivity, and we're pushing the positivity this morning. We're going back to the basics. And mm-hmm. Again, life can really hit us. Our past can creep up on us. And as I mentioned earlier, you know, we cannot move forward in our future if we're entertaining our past. Mm-hmm. But how do we respond when our past creeps up? How do we respond? We have to push into that positivity, guys. We cannot be pulled back. We cannot be pulled down. Today, we are doing just that. So we're inspiring you, encouraging, and empowering you to push into your positive life with my guest, LaKia. So, LaKia, what's that mean to you? What does that mean to be pushed into positivity, into the positivity life?
What that means to me is going beyond how you feel. And sometimes, well, most of the time, you start with your mindset, because a lot of times your mind will say, oh, I don't want to do that. I'm not going to be successful. And you have to combat those thoughts. I was listening to a motivational speaker this morning. I can't remember her name, and she was talking about how your negative talk having a fight with your champion within. So you have to find your champion within. It's ready to come out, but that negative talk will have you behind, have you sitting your champion down, and we all have that champion.
That's it.
And so we have to combat those negative thoughts. That's
good.
how you push through the positivity.
Yes, and negative thoughts. I love that. It's the negative thoughts are the enemy to the champion within. Like, we have a champion within. That's right. I see Robert Lassiter on Facebook Live flexing. I mean, he's flexing because he knows he's got a champion within.
We all do.
We all do. That's right. And so it's time to wait. I love that. And we've got this champion within. It's time to wake the champion up. People are waiting on the champion within. People are waiting to give you the trophy and the medal. People are waiting for you to win today. What are you doing to win today? I love this. So it's time to wake that champion up. And I'm telling you right now, we all have a champion, as LaKia said. I love that. We have to think on the positive things, because as a man or woman thinks, so are they. I have that on my website. It's also, in the Holy Bible, that as a man thinketh, so is he. So is a woman. So if you are thinking something, if you're thinking you're a champion, if you're thinking that you're an overcomer, if you're thinking that you're powerful, or you're at peace, or you are full of wealth and abundance, guess what? It's coming to you. It's so be it. Exactly. So LaKia, talk about that in your story. Tell us a little bit about your story. How have you had to push into your positive life?
Okay. And it's funny because when we talked and we did a pre-show, you was like, tell me your story. And I was like, well, I did this, that, and that. And I was like, wait a minute. Let me tell you what happened from A to Z. Right. I just told you how I got to Z, but not to A.
And that's so important. That's something we all do. We were talking about that on the pre-program call. I was like, hey, tell me a little bit about your story. And she was like, well, I'm an accomplished this. I'm an author. I'm a motivational speaker. And I'm like, yeah, but what's your story? Because as I've said multiple times on the show, we all have scars. Our scars tell our story, right? And that's exactly what I was asking. And so LaKia, we often do that. When I was reading her bio, it's not talking about the stuff she's overcome. It's talking about her accomplishments, right? So that's something we all do. And although that's so powerful, I believe the story's even greater, And so talk about it.
So let me tell you my story. I would say my story, I guess, happened 8 years ago, actually derived from my book.
Okay.
I was in a relationship. The relationship went, sour, no problem. Just like a regular relationship, you break up. But as a result of this relationship, I had a child. So, for most people, you want the husband and the wife and the 2 kids and the dog. There's some people that, they want, to have the child and be single. That's fine. Sure. But for me, I knew that that's not what I had wanted and planned. So I went through a stage of, I think I would say depression, and especially after I had my son. It's not necessarily I was so much depressed from the relationship, but the idea of not having a husband and the idea of having, a son, and I'm a single mom.
Sure.
Although I do have support, but at the end of the day, I'm still a single mom.
Sure.
And what really hit me one time was when doing homecoming, one of my friends called. He's like, hey, Kia, you coming out to homecoming? And I was in front of Target, and I had my son, and I bust out crying because I was like, what am I going to do? I was 27. I was still young, of course, and I had this son, and I just had him 3 weeks ago, and I was like, man, I can't go to homecoming. And so life, I tell you, my greatest joy is having my son because it pushed me into another direction. I don't even think I would be right here if it wasn't for my son and for me struggling as a teacher, struggling, getting up in the morning, going back to school because I struggled being a teacher. We all know that teachers don't make that much.
Right.
And to be a single mom and try to pay rent, I worked 2 jobs. I went to school. I had to get up early in the morning. And when you said, tell me your story, it's not that I forgot about my story. It was just like, I just, done so much, but that is what made me to who I am right now.
Sure.
Had I not had my son, I don't know where I would be,
Sure.
or the motivation
Powerful.
go to the next level.
Powerful. And that's so good, because again, you recognized how, again, you had a different thought process, a different perspective. Multiple people, you went into your depression stage, and you went to the stage of, well, I don't have the white picket fence and the dog and the perfect little family, but you took that, but you said that your son was probably your best gift, the joy of your life, and it pushed you into
and I had to fight that those negative thoughts, and I had to bring out that champion within.
Exactly.
Because without that, I would be feeling low self-esteem.
Sure.
And why did this happen to me? But
and that's what I was going to ask was, what were some of the things that you overcame? And it sounds like low self-esteem, probably shame, because you were...
Because of society,
right. It's like, single mom, and we have those stereotypes. And again, those things right there are things that you have to push through. Again, life is not going to be easy, but to have a system, talk about a little bit, and I don't know if I'm jumping ahead, but talk a little bit about the support system you had in your time. Was it just you? Did you have family around?
Well, one thing about being a single mom, and you got to have a good support system. I know a lot of people are displaced, but connecting with the right people and having reliable daycare, reliable things, and then that support team will definitely help you out. So I had my mom, I had my dad, and I had family that supported me.
Yeah, and that's so important. We got Donnie on Facebook Live that says, I believe we jump to share our success because we have forgiven our past. Okay, that's a great way of looking at it. So it's not necessarily overlooking it just because, it's really painful, but maybe you've healed from it so much that you're living out of your success, living out of your best life. That's really powerful. Thank you, Donnie, for the comment. And for those that are watching on Facebook Live, share the broadcast and go ahead and comment and add your questions as well. So in today's society, there's so much, as you mentioned, this stereotype, this pressure and resistance all around. You are a licensed counselor, and there are a lot of things that you see probably day in and day out. What are some of the pressures and oppositions that people face to stop them from living and pushing into their positive life?
A lot of things that I see when I counsel a lot of women and men, it's past relationships. Even if it's not an intimate relationship with a boyfriend, girlfriend, or a husband or wife, a past relationship with their moms, their dads, and getting over their past, like we talked about, in order for them to succeed. Because sometimes people get so stuck in their minds and stuck with that thought that consumes them that they can't even look past going to work, or they can't even look past achieving greater things.
That's so good. Let's just pause there for a second. To see, you have to think bigger than your current situation. I mean, we talk about how we've got peaks and valleys in our lives, and if you're in a valley situation, you got to know that there's a peak right ahead of you. You have to continue to, that's honestly, we really have to stay thinking about the mountaintop experience that's coming, right? And so even in your, like you were just saying, achieving the best life, you really have to keep that in mind at all times, because even when you're down and out, even when during life's blows hit you, to be resilient, to push, to bounce back, it's really looking at the positive part of life, right? Just as you did, you looked at your son being one of the greatest gifts of your life. And again, it's so powerful to mention. So that's so good. And I think also, as I was thinking about this, we oftentimes get in our own way.
We do.
We think about how, we can blame it on external opposition and external situations, but oftentimes we can be getting in our own way, and that can come from fear or self-doubt.
People are scared of fear.
Yes, people are scared, and it's like we don't want to make the move because we're scared.
Scared of success. I'm sorry, scared of success.
Scared of success. People are scared of success, And people are just, but you know what? Again, champions don't quiver at fear. You know, you have to recognize the champion within, right? So how do you see people getting in their way, getting in their own way? You're talking about fear of success. What's that mean?
Fear of success. They are, a lot of people are scared to fail. They're scared to put themselves out there. For me, I know I had to promote my book, had to promote my business. And at first, I was scared to do Facebook Live. And if you go back to some of my Facebook Lives, I'm blinking and I'm like, oh, I'm scared. But in order for you to be successful, you have to be uncomfortable sometimes.
Yeah.
And the people that need to hear you and need to be reached, they might be on Facebook or they might be on television. So sometimes in order to help others, you got to be uncomfortable.
Yeah, that's so good. And that's important. You know, success requires you to be uncomfortable sometimes. You know, you have to recognize that there's some uncomfort or lack of comfort that is required. You know, you got to get out of the comfort zone, stretch out, and it's going to be okay. Because again, when we talk about this, that the power of risk, you know, and investment. When every investment is a risk, you know, the investment is a risk, and you have to determine, is this going to be a positive return on the investment? You know, and if you're investing in yourself, then there's going to be a positive return, you know? So that's so important to say, that success requires uncomfort in the lack of comfort, to make sure that we realize, hey, it's not always going to be easy, but it's going to be worth it. It's going to be worth it. All right? So again, that's so good. You're listening to the Positivity Push on 103.5 FM WCOM, live here in Chapel Hill and Carborough. And we're waking up and winning with my guest, LaKia Washington. We're talking about how you can be pushed into positivity. And she talked about waking up that champion within. And we are going to get back into this interview with LaKia right after this next song, Whitney Houston, I Didn't Know My Own Strength. Did you know that you got some strength that you haven't even tapped into yet? And Whitney Houston is sharing that through her next song, I Didn't Know My Own Strength. All right. Good morning. Kishan Gainey says, awesome. Yeah. So thank you for joining me, y'all. So listen, couple things. If you have not shared this broadcast, what are you waiting on? Go ahead and share this broadcast. Secondly, if you are not following the Positivity Push, go ahead and like the page. Don't miss a beat, because this is going to be, again, this is a movement to push positive vibes. Thank you guys for commenting and for questions throughout the show. We're going to try to give you guys shout outs over the, I didn't know my own strength, Stephanie. Stephanie, you got some strength within you that you may not have even known.
That's
you
my
know?
best friend.
Is it? All right, Stephanie Martin. So we got best friend in the house. So listen, you got some strength that you may not even know about. And it's time to just tap into that strength and know that you are a powerful woman. Each and every one of you are powerful. You've got some strength that you are called to tap into today. So what are you going to overcome today? What are you going to overcome? And that's what I want you to tap into today. You know, it could be I'm overcoming fear. I could be overcoming stress. I could be overcoming anxiety. And whatever it is, you can overcome it because there's a champion within. All right. I hope you guys are enjoying this. Share this broadcast. You're welcome, Stephanie. Share this broadcast. It's going to be good because we're going to jump in a little bit more. We're going to talk about her book, and it's going to be really good, y'all. I'm excited about it. How did you stumble across the Positivity Push?
Jason Mahoney.
Oh, okay. So he was so you know him?
Yeah, I knew him, and he put it on the Facebook. I said, oh, let me see what that is. And I got up early, and I was like, oh my God, where have I been?
Right. Well, listen, I tell you, he was a great guest. He was a great guest, and he's well established, and has got his book out, books out as well. And so Daphne, thanks for joining. Thank
That's
you.
my mom. Hey,
All
Mommy.
right, come on, Mom. Come on, Mom. Thank you. Yes, you're overcoming fear, Stephanie. I love that. You're overcoming fear. And let me just go ahead and tell you, you've not been given the spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. So go ahead and just tap into that sound mind and know that you are thinking good thoughts today. Cecil, good morning, sir. I hope you're doing well as well. Go ahead and share this broadcast. I think there's a share button somewhere on Facebook. Go ahead and share that broadcast. While we've got your attention, because we're going to play the next song right after this. What song is that? Okay, Winner. Okay, cool. So we're playing another song right after this, so we got some time. But while I've got your attention, a few things I want to push, because I'm going to do it over the airwaves as well. LaKia's got 2 books out. Where can they buy it?
They can buy My Baby Daddy's Getting Married on Amazon, and
Whoop, whoop.
the 21 days they can reach out to me on I am LaKia, or they can inbox me, LaKia Washington.
Okay, awesome.
On Facebook.
So we've got 2 books here. My Baby Daddy is Getting Married, Steps to Repair a Broken Heart. And this right here, this book, you can purchase on Amazon. And it's a great book. There's also some grief journaling, right?
Yeah.
Did you say? There was some grief journaling in there as well. So if you've ever dealt with a broken heart because of broken relationship or what have you, this is the one to go to. But then we've got 21 Days to a Balanced Life with Children. So good. And you can reach out to LaKia personally. I'm actually going to, I'll put her information in the Positivity Push page and stuff. So you can actually reach out to her to get this book as well. Very, very good stuff right here. We're going to talk more about that in the next segment.
Okay.
While we're talking about books, let me go ahead and just do a little bit of like self, like
Put your plug in.
right, brush your shoulders off, like y'all. This week I became an author. All right, so look, we got 2 authors in the house. I became an author. So this is a 40-day devotional, and you can purchase this on Amazon. But I've got links on my websites. The Positivity Push, my personal website, AntonioSantoro.me, for my coaching. So you can go to those websites and purchase it, or just go to Amazon and put in my name, Antonio Santoro, and you will see this beautiful book right here. It's a 40-day devotional, but also has some great opportunities for you to journal as well. So go purchase this book as well. Such a good book. I'm super excited. I was telling LaKia, it's like, when you get the book and it's like you see your name on a book and people are actually buying it. I think it's crazy. So I'm loving it. Thank you, Stephanie, Christina. Thank you so much, lady. I appreciate you. So yeah, I'm really excited about it, y'all. So go ahead and get this book. I've also posted it on social media as well. So thank you guys again for joining us this morning. LaKia, how you feeling so far this morning about this show? About the show?
Feeling good, feeling positive.
Yeah. So go ahead and plug your book release it's a event. Yeah.
So next Sunday, November 4th at 3 p.m. at the ACE Center in Knightdale. I think I have the address somewhere. I can't remember.
Yeah, I'll
okay. At the ACE Center in Knightdale, I will be having my book launch, book signing of My Baby Daddy's Getting Married, and the 21 Days to a Balanced Life with Children.
Awesome.
So I'm super excited about that.
Very cool. So what do you plan on doing? Is it just going to be a book signing, or are you going to be speaking? What is that?
It's a book signing, and I'm also going to be talking about my book, and
yeah.
You can purchase a book there too while
yes.
you're there.
You can purchase the book. Yes.
And get it signed.
That's exactly right.
And we're gonna have some food too.
Perfect.
A little food.
Yeah. How did you book that? Was it just? How did you book the event center?
Just call.
You just called them? Awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. So yeah, we'll share the details. I'll share the details as I have been, but I will share it again today. It's going to be 7017 Knightdale Boulevard in Knightdale, North Carolina, next Sunday at 3 p.m. All right, so y'all check that out. That will be a great opportunity for you to meet this awesome woman, as well as purchase her book. So it's going to be good stuff. I'm super excited about all that God is doing in your life. We go through things for a reason, and I think what you're doing is really awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Because again, it's really, we go through things to help other people, and that's what this is all about. So let's jump in.
Okay.
All right, if you guys have not shared this broadcast, go ahead and share it. And that was Winner by Justin Timberlake and T.I. with Jamie Foxx. You're listening to the Positivity Push on 103.5 FM WCOM. So this show is sponsored by my guest, author LaKia Washington. She has come out with her book entitled "Uh-Oh, My Baby Daddy is Getting Married: Steps to Repair a Broken Heart." You can follow her on Instagram at IamLaKiaW, and her book launch is the event is next Sunday, November 4th at 3 p.m. in Knightdale, North Carolina at 7017 Knightdale Boulevard. 7017 Knightdale Boulevard in Knightdale, North Carolina at 3 p.m. You can meet my guest. She's given a wealth of knowledge this morning, and she's got more in store with the book. You can purchase the book. She can sign it. It's going to be a good time. So, and food. Hello. If there's food there, you should be there. So, so check out the social media for more information, but definitely reach out to her next Sunday. If you have a business, music, ministry, opportunity, book, event, or you're just a personality brand that wants to be shouted out over the airwaves and posted on the Positivity Push social media, be a show sponsor. Go to thepositivitypush.com for more information and to get a message out to me so that we can push you over the airwaves. I also want to plug my book. I just came out with my book this week. I am an author officially, and I've come out Thanks for the applause. I've come out with a book, a 40-day devotional called Catapult, and you can purchase that on Amazon or the Positivity Push website as well. So go ahead and purchase your copy or copies. All of these books are great Christmas gifts. So go ahead and purchase those and help someone else's life. All right. So we're talking with LaKia Washington this morning, and we're talking about how we can be pushed into our positive life. We have everything trying to tell us that we can't live the positive life. Everything in our life, not everything I should say, but there's so many things in our life that try to bring us down, that try to push us back. But it's time to prove them wrong. Your past is taunting you. Your failures are being rehearsed over and over in your mind. But it's time to push to the positive life. That's why we just played and listened to Whitney Houston, I Didn't Know My Own Strength, and Jamie Foxx's Winner, because you truly are a winner. We talked about that in the first segment, how there's a champion within you. And when we come up to something, we are called to overcome that thing. And not just stop whenever it's there. If it's a brick wall, we're supposed to overcome that thing and not just stop at the brick wall. So it's time to prove them wrong. It's time to push into the positive life. And that's exactly what we're doing this morning with my guest, LaKia Washington. So LaKia, when we talked over the pre-program call and just kind of getting to know more about each other, you mentioned women's groups and again, your counseling business, your own business. Tell me, why do you do what you do?
Well, it all started. I originally started with teenagers.
Okay.
When I was teaching, I was young teenagers would gravitate to me, and I had a program for that. But as I began my counseling practice, a lot of women, I counsel a lot of women, and like I said, they deal with a lot of brokenness. And I started Mommy 365, a group where. Well, it was single moms. We have married moms too.
Awesome.
Come in and we can network and uplift each other. Because a lot of times as moms, we were created more than just being moms.
That's right.
And just that title of being a mom. So we have a lot of moms that are, can have their own business, the CEOs, and do their thing. So that's why I created the Mommy 365.
That is so good. And is that the women's group that you're talking about?
On Facebook, Mommy 365.
I love it. And let me tell you, and I think I've said this before, but oftentimes when I say LaKia, so tell me a little bit about yourself. Oftentimes, whenever we get to know each other, we automatically go to our profession, right? We automatically say, oh, well, I'm a life coach. Or I'm a counselor, or I'm a teacher. but that's not you. That's not who you are. You know what I'm saying? So, like you were saying, a mom is not everything. They can still be a CEO. They can still be a great friend to somebody. They can still have a life other than being a mom.
Be a motivational speaker.
Yes.
Just, and be a mom.
Right.
Do it all.
Right. You could do it all because, again, why can't you? What is stopping you from doing everything you desire to do? If you want to travel and be a mom, travel and be a mom. I mean, nothing is stopping you today. So it's time to push in that positive life. And I love what you're doing. What are some of the things that you guys do with your women's group?
Okay, so last month we had a conference called the Balanced Women's Conference.
Okay.
And basically it was to show moms how to live a balanced life. Well, basically off of my 21-day book.
Yes.
How to live a balanced life and how to have a relationship with God, family, and work. Because sometimes if we do too much at work, our family struggle. If we do too much with our family, we may not have time for God.
Yes.
It's just having a balance, because we need that balance, and it can be achieved.
You're so right. It can be achieved, and it's important to have balance, because when you're out of balance, then not only is it affecting you, it's affecting others.
Your family, and then if you're not balanced, how are you going to be, if you don't have children, if you're not balanced, how are you going to be able to be equipped to help others if I'm not balanced? So true. That's really good, LaKia. I love that. So what strategies or tactics, I know you talked about balance, but what strategies or tactics can you provide to our listeners and our viewers here on Facebook to truly being that positivity pusher? Okay. So one strategy I used being a single mom when I was in school, because a lot of times people say, I don't have time to go back to school. Right. Is I did have to lose a little sleep. Now, I would wake up early in the wee hours of the morning to start on my paper before my son got up. Or I might stay up, if you're not a morning person, stay up later to complete that. And it's only temporary now. I was tired now. And I still get up. And one other thing I do is to prepare myself for the day is have that time with God. And so that I can tackle my day or whatever negative things may come. Somebody may cut me off or, just anything that will try to make me angry, but I'm already centered myself with having that time with God and doing my worship music. And after I do that, I do my work and start my day. So a lot of times when people say they have a bad day, it's because, are you equipped to handle your day? Are you equipped? And for you in particular, to be equipped means worship, prayer, spending time with God. Reading your Bible, worship, or listening to motivational speakers. Yes. You got to feed your spirit. Whatever you feed your spirit is definitely going to come out. So if I'm not equipped to handle the day, to handle the day, then I'm just going to get upset, and this is really going to, my champion is not going to be coming through because I've been feeding my spirit negative things. So that's so good. What are you feeding your spirit? What are you feeding your spirit? Are you feeding it junk food? And that junk food can be, doubt. That junk food can be reckless conversation. What are you feeding? Or people. Come on. Come on. That's good right there. If you always talking negative, I got to go because God has a plan for me and I need to be in that positive space so that I can help others. So good. So these are great strategies on how to live that positive life, So again, even, and you talked a little bit about this in the first segment, but during our pre-program call, having that strategy of that support system as well. Talk a little bit about that even more, not just your family, but even with your women's group. With even friends, and then the way you network, and not just networking just to meet people, but building positive relationships, meaningful relationships, not just networking just to network, but in this business, in anything that we do, and we're trying to be successful, we cannot do it alone. No, we cannot. So good. And one thing I was thinking about as you were sharing earlier about waking up in the wee hours of the morning, getting your paper done, all that stuff, was do it tired. One thing that my mentor has told me before, do it tired. Whatever it is, just do it tired, because it needs to get done. For you to get to your next level, sleep can come when they have that saying that I can sleep when I'm dead.
but it's time to just do it tired. It's okay. Like, guess what? You're alive. You're well.
Yeah, I'm
you're,
okay.
Yeah, you're good.
I grind out for a couple of
Right.
years, for a year and a half or two, however long it took me to finish up school, and I work.
Yeah.
But I'm reaping. I'm so excited that I'm able to. I enjoyed being a teacher, but I enjoy the flexibility of being there for my son on a field trip, or being able to be with my dad and you know, my mom if she needs me.
Yeah, so good, so good. So we got a little bit of time, but while we have that time, talk a little bit about your books. You brought your books with you. Talk a little bit about those and what we can get out of those.
Okay, so this one, My Baby Daddy's Getting Married. So this book is not just for baby daddies, baby mamas. This book is for anyone that has been in a relationship and needs healing, because a lot of times people think that, and you need to go through the grief process. A lot of times people think that because of someone died, then we go through the grief process. But no, relationships, you have to go through the grief process. You have to go through the doubts, the what if I would have did this, or the denial stage where, we're going to get back together, or, you know, you have to go through this. And I wrote this book because a lot of women, a lot of men, a lot of people in general suffer from past relationships, and they can't get beyond that. And as a result, as women, we shut down, and sometimes men, they become players, or women can become players too.
Yeah, that's right.
Because we've been hurt and we haven't dealt that, or we jump right into relationship covering it up, and that has issues. Or the pain and hurt we transfer to our children.
So true.
So we have to heal.
We have to heal, and this book is a great book of healing.
It's journaling, grief journaling,
and that's what we were just talking about. There's an opportunity for you to really take an internal perspective of your life and grief journal, because again, when you journal or when you're writing or whatever it is, it's a way to get that internal out, you know. And so it's a great way to heal, because healing happens from inside out. You know, talk about the other one.
Okay, 21 days to a balanced life with children. Okay, work mom balance. Basically, how to gain a better relationship with God, family, and career. In this book, you begin to journal some ways how to live a balanced life. Also, we have where you can write your prayers. Where you can just journal. I have some questions, because a lot of people I don't know what to journal. So I have some thought-provoking questions.
That's awesome.
That will just kind of self-evaluation, like where I'm at in my life, where am I spending my time? You know, because I see a lot of moms, they want to move to the next level, but they say, I don't have time.
Right.
So this book right here will help you to evaluate where I'm at in life and where I want to go.
Yes, so good, so good. So you can go to the next level by becoming balanced, right? You have so many things pulling at you. You have so much stuff on your plate. Guess what? This right here, this book, 21 Days to a Balanced Life with Children, will allow you to find your balance between God, between career, and between being a mom or even a parent. You know, I believe that there's some strategies in here that will help even the fathers.
Yeah,
you know?
it will.
So good. I talk a little bit about, you know, the what really caused you to write these books? Why did you do this?
Well, what really caused me to write this last book is because a lot of moms, or like I said, a lot of moms say they don't have time, and they put so much in their children, which is great.
Yeah.
But it's people. I've always heard this saying. I don't know where I got it from. It's like, there's someone out there waiting to hear your story, waiting for you to help. And so, like I said, we're not just moms. We're CEOs, we're authors, somebody needs to hear from you.
So true. Somebody, and again, we have a story. It's time to share it, right? You have to share your story. Lorenzo Washington says, can't move forward without healing. You have to heal in order to move
you
forward.
Can't think beyond. Until you heal, you can't think beyond writing this book.
Right.
You can't think beyond writing this book or getting to that next level, because
exactly
you're so stuck at, I'm in pain. I'm hurt. I'm pain. My mama didn't do this. My daddy didn't do this.
Right. So good. So good. So thank you for that, Lorenzo, for tuning in and joining us. And so again, we can live that positive life. We are called to live that positive life. We're going to jump back right with LaKia right after this song, Danny Goki, the comeback. And we're going to talk about the PowerPoint of the day, the positive PowerPoint. Stay tuned right after this song. All right, so we thank you guys for joining us again this morning. We're going to get ready and wrap up. We're not going to listen to this whole song. We're just going to talk about the one thing that people can take away to live their positive life, and then we're going to wrap up because it's almost done.
It's all, wow. It's
I know.
by so fast.
Flew by. So we're just going to listen to a little bit of this, and then we're going to jump into just what the positive PowerPoint is. So good. So good. I hope you guys have enjoyed this. If you have not shared this broadcast, go ahead and share it. Share this broadcast before we log off. Thank you guys for joining us. Cassandra Brooks says, Daphne Davis, I don't know about you, but I'm so proud of LaKia Washington. Yes, she's awesome. Yes, so thank you so much for watching this morning. Share this broadcast. We're about to wrap up, and I hope you guys have enjoyed this. I have thoroughly enjoyed you being on my show. Like,
I've enjoyed being here. Oh my God.
So good, and she's provided such great wisdom. Such great just nuggets and strategies of how we can live our best life, right? And to live the positive life, all right? So we're going to jump back into this with the positive PowerPoint and then wrap this thing up.
Okay.
And that was Danny Goki with The Comeback. And did you know that you got a comeback in store? You may have been knocked down. You may have been fallen back. But I'm telling you, it's time to bounce back. It's time to come back. You may have been brokenhearted by an ex-lover. But guess what? There's a book with your name on it, right? And you can push past the pain and push into your positive life. So that's really what we're wrapping up with today. LaKia, tell us a little bit about, tell us a positive PowerPoint that we can walk away with today.
Well, as we talked about earlier, is we all have that champion within. And in order for us to unleash that champion, we have to cage. Well, actually, we have to evacuate or evict. There we go. We have to evict those negative thoughts, those negative things, those things that will have us stuck. So we all have that champion within. We just need to tap into it. Yes. And evict those negative thoughts.
Evict the negative thoughts, y'all. It's time to evict it. So good. Feed that champion and wake the champion up within. I want to thank you for joining me again this morning, LaKia.
I'm happy to be here.
It's been a great.
It went by so fast.
I know it did go by so fast. It's been a great show this morning. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you for listening to the Positivity Push over the airwaves, 103.5 FM WCOM. I hope you guys have enjoyed this. LaKia has been a great guest this morning, and I'm so grateful. Again, this is Antonio Santoro, your host of the Positivity Push, live here in Chapel Hill, Carrboro on 103.5 FM. I hope you enjoyed the music and the message this morning. And stay tuned for Music Call with Rocco from 9 to noon. LaKia, thank you for joining us this morning.
You're welcome. I'm so excited. I'm still excited.
I know,
and we're
right?
over. Oh, man.
I know, right? We're going to have you back on.
Yeah.
I appreciate you. So thanks for waking up and winning with us this morning. Always remember, be positive.
Bye-bye.
Alrighty. Good stuff. Let me move that over there. Get out of the way. All right, y'all. Let me get out of the way for Rocco. Turn this off.
Had a good show.
It was good.
Really? Did you have fun?
I did.
Yeah, it was good stuff. Stephanie says, great job, LaKia.
Oh, thank you.
I'm so proud of your accomplishment. Yes, God first. Let me get out of the way for you, Rocco.
Okay.
Keep up the great work. All right. So, hope you guys enjoyed this morning's show with LaKia Washington, my guest. I'm going to post all our information on the Positivity Push for you guys to go purchase her books, to follow her, to connect with her. If you want to book her for speaking engagements, if you want to, whatever it is, go connect with this woman. She is so great. So thank you again, LaKia, for joining me.
I'm excited.
Yeah, thank you for joining us on the Positivity Push. If you've not shared this broadcast, go ahead and do that. But we got to go, y'all. Y'all have a great week ahead. Be positive, and I'll see y'all next week, okay?
All right.
All right.